Okay, yeah. Hi everyone, welcome back to Information Economics. Today we will start our new topic, which will be the signaling part of this course. In the remaining 3 weeks, we will deal with signaling. We'll do the simple model in this week and read two papers applying the signaling theory to some problems. Yeah, in the next 2 weeks. So today our plan is to introduce the very basic concept of signaling to you, and so that you may get the main idea. In this video, I will talk about introduction, and that will be the basic concept of signaling. Yeah. In the next video, I will talk about the mathematical tool you need, the Bayesian updating. And finally, in the last video, I will talk about one example to give you the main idea. So we have studied two kinds of principal-agent relationship. We have spent 4 weeks on screening problems. That is, the agent has hidden information. For example, the consumer knows his valuation, which is hidden to those principals that are firms, or a seller knows the private cost, but the buyer does not know it. Okay, that are some screening problems we have faced. Or we have talked about moral hazard problem for 3 weeks. That is the case that when agents have some hidden actions. For example, when you hire a salesperson, the effort level is typically hidden. Or in our another example, when a consumer purchase or sign a contract with a data service provider, the consumer have some flexibility to do the after sales selection about bandwidth or quantity, whatever. Okay, so these are the two cases we have mentioned. Here we're going to study another situation on the signaling case. This is the case that the principal have private information. Okay, it is the principal that has the private information instead of the agent. Okay, we're going to see what's the issue here. One thing to remind you, both the screening problem and the signaling problem are together called adverse selection problems. Okay, and moral hazard is for hidden actions. So let's go back to 1970 to the first time people rigorously study signaling problems. Professor Aklov, he studied the market of used cars in the following way. So typically we know it is the case that the owner of a used car knows the quality of the car. There's no S here. Okay. So if I own a used car, I typically know how good the car is, how good is the engine, and how often I give the car to the maintenance shop and something like that. Okay, what's the quality of the oil I put into my car? Okay, I know those information, but those potential buyers do not know it, right? This is a case when you want to buy a used car. Even though the owners provide any kinds of certificates or any kinds of proofs to you, if the owner only promise you that the car is very good, you just do not believe it, right? So the quality is hidden information, and the quality is observed only by the principal. In this case, is the seller, because the seller is the one that is asking for a price. Okay. So in this case, there is an information asymmetry. That's true. The owner knows something, but the buyer does not. So in this case, probably you want to ask, what's the issue here? The buyers do not want to buy lemons. Here, sorry, lemons means those used cars that you buy and afterwards you find there are something wrong. Okay, because you have bought the car, and after that, if you found some issues, you cannot blame the seller, right? So we don't want to buy bad used cars, and that's why that's why if we are going to pay a price for used cars, typically we do not want to pay a very high price, right? Because we do not want to get lost. So we only pay a price for those cars that is around average on the market. if the markets have some good cars, bad cars, and we just don't know it, then what we will do is to pay the price that can buy an average car. Yeah, that's something the buyers will do. In that case, if I own a very bad used car, then I will be very happy because you can see my quality, and my quality is hidden, my quality is bad, but you can see it. So I will be happy to sell my car at an around average price. On the other hand, if I have a good car, then I will not be willing to sell my car. I would instead just send it as a gift to my mother, or just use it and delay my time to switch to a new car. Good car owners will not sell their cars. And what will be the situation? After a lot of time, we will see the following situation. Bad cars will become more and more, and there will be no good cars, right? Because bad car users, they have the strong incentive to push their cars to the market, but good car owners will only hide their cars at their garage. So there will be all bad cars on the market, and the expected quality or the true average quality of all the cars will become lower and lower and lower. So in this case, we can see clearly that information asymmetry indeed causes some inefficiency here, right? What's different from in here and from the past is that when we talk about the screening problem, information asymmetry at least they protect consumers or protect agents. If you are a consumer and if your type is public, then you're going to get a very high, typically a higher price, right? And that's something not good for consumers. But here, in signaling problems, this information asymmetry hurts everyone. It not only hurts the buyer, but also hurts. It not only hurts the seller, but also hurts the buyer. It not only hurts the principal, but also hurts the agent. Why? As a seller, if you have a good car, you do not want to sell it, and that's something we called you are hurt by the information asymmetry. You have good cars, but you cannot sell it. You are hurt. However, if you are buyers, you are also hurt because there are no good cars. The quality just become lower and lower. Yeah, and why do we see this? Because of information asymmetry. Because the quality of those cars cannot be passed to the agents, cannot be passed to the buyers. Okay, and that's why there are so many platforms, or that are some websites that you may enter the information of a given car, and then according to a huge database, the platform or the website will suggest a reasonable price for the used cars. Okay, we need this kind of information exchange or information sharing platforms so that we can reduce inefficiency. Okay, and this is something happening, I believe, in the United States at least, and in many places in the world. Yeah, the used car case. Okay, so now let's see another example. This is the problems Professor Spence studied in the market of the labors. So, consider the following case. I am a fresh graduate from a university. Okay, in that case, I know how good I am. I know my ability or my productivity or how smart I am. But when I go to the job market, those potential employers, they just cannot see my type or my productivity. Okay, the quality of me or the quality of workers are hidden to those employers, and that's why we have interviews, right? But we all know that it's very hard for an employer to correctly see the worker's quality in an interview, and eventually this information asymmetry is how bad workers or not so productive workers can get a job, right? Employers, they always want to find good workers, or at least responsible workers, productive workers, but the quality is just hidden. So what's going to happen then? Just like the used car case, firms or those employers, they will only be willing to pay a wage for around average workers. If you are really good, I would be willing to pay a high price, because otherwise, other firms will give you high price, or high wage, and you will work for other people. Yeah, I don't want that to happen, so I would offer a high wage. But if I cannot see your type, if I cannot see your productivity, I will only pay an round average pay. Yeah, and eventually, low productivity workers will be happy, but high productivity workers will be sad. And high productivity workers will try to leave the market, just like those good car owners will just do not sell their cars. So in this case, good workers, they will, for example, go abroad, and in the local market, the wages will become lower, lower, and lower, and eventually all the workers are just not so good. Okay, so that's inefficiency. In this case, is there anything we can do? It's probably harder than the previous case, right? Because in this case, there cannot be a platform that you enter some basic information of a job candidate, and then there are some suggestions for wages for this individual. Yeah, it's too hard because people are not cars. People are not items, and there is no purely objective, subjective ways to judge individuals. Yeah, so such kind of platform is hard to exist. So what can we do? Spence provides the following explanation. Indeed, he believes, at least he claims, this is part of the reason why people would like to get high education. Getting a higher degree, something like that, or study in good schools. So let's see why this is the case. We know, suppose there's one guy, he's just smart. In that case, it is not very costly, or it is not very hard for this smart guy to get a higher degree, like a master degree or whatever. However, it is more costly if I am not smart, or if I am good at, for example, sports or music or whatever. It's probably not a good idea for me to get a master in information management. Yeah, because this requires some intelligence. Okay, it is not so easy for a low productivity person to get a degree, for example, master degree in a particular field. Okay, so in this case, if I am really good, then this is a great opportunity for me to differentiate people, to differentiate themselves, differentiate myself from those low productivity workers. Okay, if I am good at it, I will do it. I will get a high degree, and then differentiate myself. Okay, this can be done because this is hard for other people. Okay, so in that case, getting a higher degree is sending a signal to those employers, to telling them that I am good. Yeah, I am productive. Other guys are not. Okay, by getting a high degree. So you probably feel that at the first time, you probably feel there's nothing so surprising. Good students, at least smart students, they go to school and then they get a degree, and that's not very surprising. But what's interesting here is that according to Spence's explanation, that thing is going to happen even if education is not going to benefit anyone, even if education does not enhance productivity. Okay, so That means I'm just making an example. Even if our graduate division, even if when you spend 2 years in getting a Master of Information Management, even if this thing is completely useless, even if after 2 years you learn nothing, you will still do that because you are trying to differentiate yourself as a smart guy. Okay? So you probably feel, oh, wow, that's terrible because spending 2 years here gives you nothing. But in some sense, it seems to be true, right? I'm not telling a joke because, being a graduate student does not mean we are training you to become better workers. But you still want to do that, right? Maybe for two reasons. First, you want to explore knowledge, or you want to get higher wage. And indeed, that happens. That's effective. Even if we do not spend time to tell you how to write app or how to write websites in our courses, you still do that, and you still get higher wage because of this signaling result. Okay, or as another example, you may think about just certificates, right? There are so many different certificate exams offered by our nation. Yeah, when you pass the test and get certificates, you are not really gaining anything from the test, right? Oh, you are differentiating yourself. Okay, so now we have the basic idea. For the signaling thing, it means that the principal can do something to signal its type. The principal can do something to tell the agents that I am good, or I can do something that the other ones are not willing to do. So Professor Arkelov, Spence, and another Professor Stiglitz, they together get a Nobel Prize in economics for their analysis of markets with asymmetric information, mainly by the two examples we mentioned in the previous two slides. Yeah, so all these three are just big guys and Nobel Prize winners. Okay, something more. So as we mentioned, signaling is for the principal to send a message to the agent to signal the hidden information. Yeah, and to send a message, the principal must do some action. Yeah, for example, getting a degree. For signaling to be effective, that means for signaling to be able to differentiate different types of principals, they must do different actions. That's intuitive. If different people do the same thing, how may you differentiate them, right? So it must be too costly for a type to take a certain action. So that means in our graduate division, we need to require you to write very difficult thesis or very contributive thesis so that getting this degree can really help you differentiate yourself. Something like that. There are definitely other examples. For example, my favorite example here is that a manufacturer offers warranty not just because the manufacturer wants to protect and attract consumers, but also because a manufacturer wants to signal the product reliability. I offer a very long warranty because I am trying to convince you that my product will not break down. A firm may set a high price to signal the product quality. Okay, this may be a little bit harder to explain, but if you think about the practice, that's typically the case, right? When you see a product that is just has a higher price than other companies, than other products, typically you think it may be because this product is made with higher quality materials, probably it's handmade, or probably the workers there are just more experienced. When you see an iPhone and it's just more expensive than similar quality products, then you still think it's of high quality, right? That's something happening in the world. Finally, if someone says, I will provide full refund if it is not tasty, 不好吃不要钱, yeah, then that means he is also trying to convince you that my my food is just tasty. Okay, just come and eat. Yeah, I promise you that you will not feel bad. I promise you that you can get full refund. Only I can make this promise because other bad restaurants, their food are just bad and it's too costly for them to do that. So we know the issue now. Now the next issue for us is that we want to find a rigorous way to model and analysis a signaling game, right? So we need to know what are those elements in a signaling game. So for example, we know there is an agent and a principal, certainly. The principal has a type, sure. The agent cannot observe the type, and therefore the type from the agent's perspective is a random variable. So the agents will have some belief on the principal's type. The principal will take an action that is observable, and according to this action, the agent will form a posterior belief on the type. Let me make an example. For example, when we are offering warranties, the quality is uncertain. Suppose the quality may be high or low. If I enter the market with a hidden quality, probably consumers will randomly guess my product. The quality is just high or low. Yeah, and one half, okay, with 1/2 probability to be high. And then I offer a warranty, a very generous warranty. Then the agents, by observing the warranty, they will update their belief about the quality. Okay, when they see that I offer a very generous warranty, consumers will feel or update their beliefs to believe that my product is good, is of high quality with a higher probability. Okay, in their posterior belief, the probability for my product to be of a high quality will just become higher. Okay, posterior belief. And then based on the updated belief, they will respond to me. Okay, they will decide whether to buy it or not. If I do not provide the warranty, they may feel uncomfortable. They may be afraid that my product is bad, so they may not buy it. But when they see a warranty offered by me, they may think, no, they update their belief and think my product is good, and then their response may be just buy it. So, as a principle, I anticipate that's going to happen. Belief updating is going to happen. So I will take that into consideration when I am designing my warranty decision. Okay, when I am designing my warranty policy, I will think about the effect of altering the agent's belief. Yeah, I will take the signaling effect into consideration so that I can really make the correct decision. So, as I mentioned, reliability is hidden. Consumers have some prior, and then I need to choose to offer a warranty or not. By doing so, I can somehow help consumers update their belief, or I am directly updating their beliefs. And then I hope to make them be more willing to buy my product. So, according to this description, we need to have some ways to mathematically describe how will consumers update their beliefs, and eventually that's the place we need to apply the Bayes theorem, bayes氏定理. Okay, yeah, you probably have learned it in the past when you study probability or statistics. Yeah, that is something you have learned if you have taken that those courses. But anyway, we will do a brief review. I hope it's a review, not a preview. We will do a review later in the next video. Thank you.